Joining us on this very hazy Thursday afternoon here in Denver throughout the Front Range and throughout really much of eastern Colorado. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi here in the 9 News Weather Center with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast. And the story, it will certainly be the haze and increasingly the heat, that we could see a few storms maybe giving us a brief respite from that for your day here as we get into your Friday. But again, for today, the big story, you're looking at it. It is that haze. It is those wildfires from the Pacific Northwest and also from British Columbia, maybe even a little bit of smoke from the fires in California that's filtering its way into our skies. And then air quality, you can't see the mountains. Yuck. There's no other way to put it. It is just nasty out there, and it marks our 31st straight day with an ozone action alert day for us in Denver and through the Front Range. In fact, that streak started a month ago today, so a month of consecutive lousy in some cases, and today I should say specifically we're talking about exceptionally poor air quality for us along the Front Range. So very, very poor air quality continues for us in around the Denver metro area, and again, that's thanks to that wildfire smoke alofts in the mid and upper levels, some of that making its way down to the surface, but at the surface, it is primarily ground ozone pollution that is making it so smoggy out our way. Now, a little bit of good news to tell you about. We will see maybe a little bit of lightning with some of that wildfire smoke as we get into tomorrow. That's going to be thanks to a push of northwesterly winds that'll kind of steer some of that smoke into Nebraska and Kansas. But that's just a short-lived break for us, because we're going to see another surge of smoke come on in from the west as we get into your Friday night and specifically into your Saturday, and that is thanks to wildfires in California. So we're going to start to get a bit more of a due westerly wind. That will swap from today's northerly wind. So today's wind is bringing in some of those wildfires, bringing in some of that wildfire smoke from the Pacific Northwest and southwestern Canada. Then as we get into your day tomorrow, and really tomorrow night, I should say, and into your Saturday, it's going to be mainly smoke from fires in California. But the ultimate result is that the weekend will be very hazy, very smoggy as well, maybe a little bit better for your day tomorrow. Meantime, satellite radar, it is very quiet out there. We did have a system yesterday that brought some showers to eastern Colorado. We expect a breather from the rain and thunderstorm activity, at least for the rest of your day today and perhaps into early tomorrow. But we could see a few storms develop later on into tomorrow, maybe one or two storms developing in far southwestern Colorado, but 99% of the state will be dry for your day today, and we'll start off on a dry note statewide. As we get into tomorrow, we get a little surge of moisture coming in from the west for your Friday. I'll show you that here in just a second. Meantime, a little bit of good news to pass along. I know we've been talking about the air quality and some of the flooding for us across Colorado. It does maybe feel like it's been a fairly, maybe an overall a lot of bad news in terms of the weather picture. Here's the good news. The drought picture is getting markedly improved. You might notice that dark red there in northwest Colorado. Well, that dark red color was, we had about 15% of Colorado last week in exceptional or the worst category of drought. That number has now shrank to about 6%. So some noted improvements here in terms of the drought picture for us across Colorado. In fact, we went from about 38% of Colorado that is considered to be in drought to about 34% of Colorado that is in drought. And it's really southwest Colorado that is feeling the relief thanks to the monsoonal rainfall that we've seen there throughout much of the month. Current temperatures, that's the other big story, is we're really starting to warm back up again. A lot of mid to upper 80s to about 90 degrees for us in eastern Colorado. The mountains, as usual, on the cooler side, but not quite as cool as what we saw earlier on this week. We'll get up into the low 90s for much of eastern Colorado. This is very typical for this time of year, almost smack dab where we should be, maybe a degree or two above average for us. The one spot that will be considerably above average will be Grand Junction, 98 degrees. That's close to about 5 degrees above normal for this time of year. Steamboat Springs at 86. Leadville, even for our friends there at 10,000 feet, it'll be 72 degrees for you later on today. Denver, we're expecting to get up to 90 plus, which would make it our 35th day at 90 or above so far this year. We had a lot of those days last week. It looks like we're going to get back to those here starting today and through the rest of your week. So for tonight, it'll be clear but hazy. Again, that air quality does improve a little bit as we head through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, but we do drop those temperatures into the low to mid 60s. Sunset at 8:07 tomorrow. isolated afternoon storm. We're not talking about widespread activity, and whatever storms we do see should be fairly short-lived. And we're mainly looking at high-based storms. So what I mean by that is not a lot of rain, so not a whole lot of a flood threat, but what we're looking at is some gusty storms as we get into tomorrow. So let's take a look at that forecast as we get through today. As I mentioned, we're on the dry side. And as we get into tomorrow, we start off on a dry note, and then we'll push in some isolated showers and storms into the mountains, I-70 on north for tomorrow, and those will eventually travel east across Colorado and give us a slight chance at a storm in around the Denver area. I'd say 20–30% shot at best. Most of us do stay dry, so you do have some outdoor plans. Maybe you got a barbecue after work tomorrow or something like that, or a happy hour. You should be A-OK for that. Just keep in mind you got a chance for a storm. The weekend, by the way, does look dry. It does get notably warmer tomorrow. A few triple digits even popping on up in far southeastern Colorado. Denver, mid-90s for us out here along the Front Range, and also in the mountains, a few degrees warmer compared to today. It'll stay hot through the weekend. 95 for us come Sunday. Early next week, we'll reintroduce some of those shower and storm chances and drop those temperatures back into the 80s for Wednesday and Thursday. But again, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be hot, it's going to be dry. Best chance for a storm over the next few days comes tomorrow, and then we'll reintroduce some of those shower and storm chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and drop those temperatures in the process. So in the meantime, it is the haze, it is the wildfire smoke that continue to be our big stories, and of course the heat as well. But the heat, not that exceptional. We're talking about temperatures maybe a couple degrees above average, nothing too crazy in terms of those temperatures, at least over the course of the next few days. So limit that time outdoors here, folks, and stay safe in this lousy air quality. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi here in the 9 News Weather Center.